Racing League Season 2 continues this week with the third race of the GTE Championship. After 2 races in England at Silverstone and Snetterton, we're crossing the North Sea to Belgium for Spa-Francorchamps. 2 of 14 in the books, and Bozak is your championship leader over Night Racing and Jamie 360, the only 3 drivers to have raced in all 3 races. Remember, only your best 10 count out of the 14, so plenty of time for everyone else to get their races in. Here is today's grid. It was a wet qualifying today at Spa, with Bozak taking a pole position, your championship leader. Beside him, the hometown favorite Senna, 2:11, the leader in the FR35 Championship. Fellow Belgian Villers Gaming inside of row number 2, with Canadian Night Racing, 727, taking up the outside of row 2. Row 3 sees more Corvettes, with Notaben on the inside in 5th and qualifying in 6th position, Hank Madison in the 26 Corvette. Ex-Vamper is back for his second race in the 71 Ferrari. Beside him was supposed to be Slim Reaper, although problems in the garage, he could not get the car started. So we will go with 7 for 45 minutes around Spa-Francorchamps. Flag. And it is Bozak holding his inside line and is going to take the lead. Very close behind him, Senna. They slot in qualifying order as we head down to Orange for the first time. It's been raining for days here in Belgium, and it's going to continue most of the day. One car off at the back there. Annette Lacombe 3 wide. And we're going to have a new leader as Senna. Villers gets it through from the center. Belgians now 1-2, Villers Gaming, Senna 2:11, Bozak down to 3rd as he tries to make a comeback here. Great stuff through No Name, but Senna 2:11 will maintain 2nd. Gap while this battle rages for 2nd place. Bozak, the pole sitter, all over the back end of Senna 2:11. These two are fighting in FR35, and why should it be different here in the GTEs? Wide goes Senna, but maintains position. Into the bus stop. Complete lap number 1 with Villers Gaming leading Senna 2:11. The Belgians 1-2 in their home race. Bozak 3rd, Night Racing 4th. Notaben is 5th with Hank Madison 6th. down the Kemmel Straight, just keeping his car out of the spray so he can see where he's going. Very hard to pick the braking points here. But these are the best drivers on Xbox, and you'll see why in a race like this. Night Racing still in 4th place. He's got Donovan right behind him. These guys did a lot of testing this week. We knew it was going to be a wet race, and yesterday was a very, very busy day. Back up front with your leader, Villers Gaming, in the number 3 Corvette. Let's have a look at the start. In very tricky conditions, everybody getting away very well. Nothing too crazy into the first corner, everybody really clean. A great start considering on board now from Hank Madison's car in the 3rd row. Good stuff from everyone involved there. And there you see Donovan going off a little bit at the top of the hill. And ex-Vamper losing it at Eau Rouge as he slides through Radillon. As we're back to live action. We're 6.5 minutes into this 45-minute race. No mandatory pit stops, but the conditions the way they are, I think it's probably likely we're going to see everybody come in for at least tires. Gap stabilizing as we come in to the bus stop again. It's about 2 seconds now. As you can see how hard it is to get the power down, but Villers Gaming still leads. And it's another 5 seconds back from this battle to 4th and 5th. wide on radio and goes Bozak there, gathers it all back up and threw the spray down the Kemmel Straight as the rain starts to let off a little bit here. And Bozak is spun. Coming out of no name, Bozak spins from third position, and now Knight Racing right on his tail there. And we'll have a look. Just loses the back end through no name. And kisses the wall, but nothing major there. So back underway with Knight Racing just behind now. Only a 1 second lead over the fourth place car. Back up front, completing lap 4 is Villers Gaming into lap 5. As I said, the rain is starting to thin out a little bit here. So as the cars come over the line, we'll give you their lap times. .231, 138 for Villers Gaming. As there's Nodovan coming around. 231.6 for Senna. Senna 211, and with that spin, a 238 for Bozak. 234s for Knight Racing, so it really is the front two who are putting in the lap times right now. Their second place car, the Porsche of Senna 211. Now a 2.5 second gap to our leader. Down into the 230s, so that'll tell you now how much better the track conditions are. 229.7 for Senna and a 227.7 for Bozak. So coming off that spin, he's putting it down, pulling away now from Knight Racing, and now a 5 second gap to fourth. Knight only putting in a 2:30.2. That's the leader's pace, but second and third are quicker at the moment. Back now to the BMW pole sitter Bozak, now running in third place, just over 7 seconds behind our leader. And wide down there. Pushing really hard to try and make up that time lost on that little spin coming out of No Name. Back up front with your leader, Villers Gaming. Just under 30 minutes to go here in this 45-minute endurance race. Race number 3 of the GTE Championship, currently led by Bozak, who's won both of the first 2 races. However, he's got a big challenge by 2 drivers who are making their debut this season. Remember, only the top 10 races count your championship out of the 14, so everybody's still available to score the maximum number of points. Kuon we go. Staggeringly difficult in these conditions. Senna 211 just inching closer a little bit. And loose, and around goes Villers. Senna 211 will take the lead as he backs across the circuit. Here comes Bozak. That was close. And a replay from Bozak. Oh, and they did touch. You heard just a little bit of contact, and while that was in replay, Knight Racing goes around on the same corner. So as the tires start to wear, it's getting more and more difficult there. As back up now with our third place car, Villers Gaming. He had the lead. Senna 211. Right now, the FR35 leader now has the lead in his first GTE race of the season. Knight Racing, who was so close to catching up to this, now has Donovan right back on his tail like he did on the first few laps. As down the Kemmel Straight comes your new leader, Senna 211 in the Porsche 911. Lap 8, we are 20 minutes into this 45-minute race. Your new leader, Senna 211, with a 4.7 second gap over Bozak in second place. Villers Gaming now third, 9 seconds behind the lead. Knight Racing fourth, with Notovin right behind him. And Peg Madison in sixth place. Ex-Vamper has retired. The conditions a little too much for the Ferrari driver here today. He had no testing, and not fair at all, considering a lot of these guys had close to 5 hours of testing before this race started. Knight Racing into the bus stop. And you can see how close Notovin is behind him now, as everybody's into lap number 9, and we're getting, Notovin around. And that eases the pressure on Knight now, as he now has an 8-second gap back. So everybody making small errors, except, doesn't this sound familiar from FR35? Senna 211, not a wheel wrong today, in very tricky conditions. And there he is. Very close to the halfway mark now. So we'll start to see who's thinking about pit stops. The rain is starting to fall again. So these tires, which are now worn, have done a little bit in a drying track, so that's going to wear them a little quicker. They may not be as effective here in the wet, and it's really coming down now. You can see from that shot. Spray flying high, just like it was on lap 1. As Bozak tries to hunt down the race leader. And into the pits, the first car into the pits is Villers Gaming. Our third place qualifier took the lead in an amazing three-way passing move into Les Combes on lap 1, then lost it with a spin. He's going to come in and get fresh boots. Knight Racing in fourth now, can finally get that podium position, but he's also in. So third and fourth place into the pits here at the start of lap number 10. And Knight has slid through his pit box. That's not going to help. That'll cost a few extra seconds on the tire change. Viller's on the move again, still in third place. As Notovin is also in the pits, there he is in his box. Third, fourth, and fifth have all pitted here on lap number 10. Knight Racing now coming out. And already into Eau Rouge is Villers Gaming, the first car now with fresh tires. And you wonder what the strategies are going to be here. It is so close. We're 25 minutes now into this race, 20 minutes to go, and the gap to the lead is less than 3 seconds. And Senna 211 is in. Bozak, you see, going by, he will get the lead back. The pole sitter is finally going to have the lead back, but he is now the only car on old tires as he starts lap 11. Senna 211 into the pits. We look back at Notovin. Running fifth, there is Villers Gaming. Now up to second place. Sorry, no, he's not up to second, he's in third. There is Senna. Making his way out, he should have the gap to Villers Gaming. Yep, just coming into the bus stop now. So Senna 211 is going to maintain second place here as he heads down to Eau Rouge. Bozak has just gone through No Name and heading up to Pouin, so that's the lead. As second place is on the Camel Straight, and here comes through Radillon, Villers Gaming. And here is your leader now, Bozak, pole sitter, and the winner of both of the first 2 races in England in this class, although we had light fields, but trying to make it 3 in a row here. He got the pole in horrible conditions here, but he's got a fight on his hands with the 2 Belgians today. Senna 211 on fresh tires, and we're going to get some lap times for you here. Bozak's last lap time, a 2:31.4. And we'll just wait for Senna 211 to come around and see what his first proper lap time is. Bozak not into the pits. You can see there's Hank Madison, who's going to go a lap down. Hank has also not pitted. A 2:32.419 for the leader. Very professionally out of the way for the leader goes Hank Madison down 1 lap. This is not his race here. see a 2:36.516 for Senna, but I believe that is going to include some pit lane speed. Villers Gaming, a 2:29.723. That's a great lap time for, as you can see, the rain coming down fairly heavily. 2:32.4 for Knight, so he is still 2.5 seconds off that pace in the blue Corvette. As we come up to the 30-minute mark of this race, 2/3 distance. And we will be very closely watching the lap time here for Senna 2:11. This will be his first true flying lap. And we'll get a comparison between the fresh tires on that Porsche and the worn tires on the pole sitter's BMW M6. And trouble just out of the box. We saw a little slow through the bus stop. Bozak at 2:33.364. Not the best lap time. As we wait to watch Senna 2:11 come through on the board. This is Night Racing 727 we're watching. And yeah, it's a 2:29.323. You can see on your top left there. So that is 4 seconds. Senna 2:11 is pulled back in on this lap alone. The gap is 23 seconds. As very wide goes Notovin there. Hank Madison here now we're watching as we kind of run through the field. 245s and 249s for these last two cars. Hank is of course on worn tires. He's also not pitted, the same as our leader. As we're back up with Bozak. "32 minutes on these tires, accelerated tire wear in this class, and very, very taxing conditions. And around on the trouble corner, Night Racing was around there, Villers went around there and lost the lead, and now another leader is bitten, Bozak. That is going to chew up a considerable amount of his lead, down to 15.5 seconds now. I'm convinced that he's been trying to go the whole way here and do this race without a pit stop. The strategy has given him the lead back with a comfortable cushion, but he just lost a third of that cushion. Avoiding that puddle on the inside. Bozak will not pit again and starts lap number 14, but this time a 2:42.025. He is throwing the time back at all the cars who have pitted. As Senna 2:11 goes through at a 2:31.0. So although not the greatest of times, it pulled down another 11 seconds because of that spin by Bozak. And you can see the rain has let up again. That it's going to help everybody, but I'm not sure with these worn tires if Bozak will have the grip even on a slightly drier track. We'll have to see. Both of his last 2 lap times compromised by spins. A very controlled and technical drive. Just watch the lines on that Porsche. As Bozak uses every single centimeter of tarmac to try and get this BMW M6 around. He's got the lead. It's down to 12.6 seconds. So although he's kept it tidy this lap, he's still losing time to Senna 211. And into the bus stop and into that puddle and around again. And that's it. Uncle. He says uncle. He's coming in to get some tires. 3 consecutive laps. There's no putting it off any longer. And that is going to hand the lead back to Senna 211 in his home race. And finally getting to the box to put those new tires on. This is who we're watching now, is Villers Gaming in 3rd. To see if he can get it around. He's in the bus stop now. Bozak still stationary. So it's going to be a Belgian 1-2 here. Hank Madison is going to get lapped by these guys. But Villers is through. And there is Bozak just now coming out of pit lane. Hank out of the way nicely, and Villers Gaming will hit Eau Rouge in 2nd place. And it's a 23-second gap for Senna 211. Pretty much the gap that Bozak had before the problem started when the tires just fell off the cliff there. Night Racing now, you can see. Again has visual on 3rd place. Your leader, Senna 211, through Pouhon. We're 37 minutes into this race, 8 minutes to go. We're on lap 15. Villers Gaming in 2nd place. Everything up to temperature, again losing all of the road. The track is drying a little bit now, but you can see it's still very, very wet. Here is Bozak chasing him. It is 6.5 seconds from 2nd to 3rd. Here is your 4th place driver, Night Racing, who is another 17 seconds back now. Not exactly visual on 3rd place. can see the gap there from Villers back to Bozak now. Five seconds, but he has visual contact. Just crossing the 40-minute mark of this race. Can Villers hold on and make this a Belgian 1-2 at Spa-Francorchamps? Pushing like crazy behind there. Again, going wide was Bozak. Definitely closing him in. The gap now just around 3 seconds. So this is going to be very close. As a round goes, Villers again. That's going to hand second place back. Night Racing coming around, but he's still too far back. 15 seconds from there. And here we'll get a look at it, the same corner everybody's had trouble with. That's twice it's been Villers. And he does keep it locked down this time when Bozak goes past him. No harm, no foul there. Bozak now into lap 17. But it's a 24-second gap. There is Villers. Pretty safe here, 15 seconds ahead of Night Racing. There is Night Racing now. And back to your leader, Senna 211. It's all fallen his way. He hasn't put a wheel wrong. Everyone's had trouble on that back corner. Not Senna 211. His car has been straight and pointed the right way all day long. You can see the lap times up at the top. Bozak, a 2:25, 1:41. And that is the race's fastest lap. There he is now, absolutely flying, but just under 23 seconds is the gap. Senna can control this as we are 43 minutes in. He's going to cross the line here, and that will start the final lap of this race. We're going to do 18 today at Spa. There is Night Racing 727 in fourth place, 45 seconds off the lead, and he's gone around. So he gets bitten twice at the same corner. And some damage on the right rear. That's Hank Madison coming up behind him, a lap down. So not a challenge for position. And off he goes. Right rear damage on the number 6 Corvette. And just under a minute ahead of Notavin, so this is a free pit stop. Hank trying to stay out of the way there, not realizing Knight's going into the pits. But back up front, this is Senna 211 on his final lap here at Spa. A 20-second lead, a drying track. He can just get this Porsche home and claim his first victory of the GTE season here in race number 3. Bozak, your pole sitter, a valiant effort, tried to go on the no-stop strategy, which looked good for a little while, but ultimately ended up biting him. There was just no way he could get those tires to the finish. Once they went off the cliff, they were gone, and he had to pit. Is up to the bus stop for the final time. And in his home race of the GTE season, Senna 211 wins at Spa. Bozak, your race winners for both races in England, will come home in second to put a stranglehold on the series lead here. And in his first race of the season, in the number 3 Corvette Villers Gaming, will round out the podium. 3 different manufacturers on the podium here. Night Racing 727 qualified 4th, came out of the first lap in 4th, and will finish 4th. As the winners form up on the Kemmel Straight. Kind of an exaggerated gap back to 4th with that last spin and pit stop for Knight. As he finally crosses the line. Two seconds and a 4th, also not a bad start to the season. In a series where your top 10 count, it's good to get some bankers in early. Notovin will come home in 5th place. A great drive for the rookie. Hank Madison, also a rookie here in the Night Racing League. A solid day, no pit stops, the only car not to pit today. And he'll come home in 6th place. So as your leaders, with the raindrops falling, make their way back to the pit lane, thanks for watching Race 3 of the GTE Championship.